Yeah, do you remember what it felt like to pick up a comic book and read through it with such joy? I know that social media has sort of taken over that space, but there was just something about the feel of a brand new comic book. In fact, comic books are some of the most expensive assets in the world. There are some comic books that are worth millions of dollars. And yeah, that's why there are comic conventions all over the world. In 2012, the Lagos Comic Con began. And today, we are joined by Ayodele Elegba. He is fondly known as the dream maker among Nigeria's comic and animation industry insiders. He is the producer and director of various highly acclaimed short film animations, such as Ajaka Lost in Rome, Hero Corps, Strike Guard, and many more. And he is the founder and convener of the Lagos Comic Convention. It's great to have you here once again.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, Lagos Comic Con. So I was actually there at the very first edition.
Wow.
At the Necker Hall in 2012 in Alausa, not far from the Shrine, Fela Shrine.
Yeah, actually the first one was in Water Parks.
Water Parks, that
Yes.
was, okay, so
Yes,
the one
second
at Necker,
one.
there was
Yes.
the second one. Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
So now you've come 12 years later. We're still doing Lagos Comic Con, and now it's in a huge facility like Landmark. That means it has grown in leaps and bounds. But you need to talk to us about the journey.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's an awesome long journey to be doing this for the community. You know, yesterday I was just thinking about it, that if not for Lagos Comic Con, we probably won't be hearing anything about comics, you know, in Nigeria. So it's been a long journey. It's been a tedious, hard one. But we thank God for where we are. We owe it to the fans. We owe it to the comic creators who still need this platform to showcase their work, showcase their comic books, their ideas, and of course to network and, you know, get to meet each other at least once in a year from all over Nigeria. They come together and then they, you know, the network and share ideas and say, look, we are still in this game and we are doing well.
So as far back as 2013, 2014, there were some conversations regarding whether the actual printed comic would still be relevant in a time like 2024. But we've seen that myth busted. People still love their comics. People are in love with animation. And speaking of animation, I know that there's a major animated movie that you're going to be talking about during this Comic-Con.
Yeah, one of the highlights of this year's event is that we are bringing in Dewumi Okukwe from the US. He has this animated series called Iyanu. I'm sure if you've seen Iwaju,
yes.
Now Iyanu is another big blockbuster coming to series, coming to HBO Max, Cartoon Network, and of course showing at Showmax. It will be screening at this year's event, and Dewumi will be telling us about his journey. The voiceover actors will be coming, the directors will be coming. It's going to be a big one to showcase what a Nigerian is doing, you know, to tell the Yoruba story, you know, in diaspora.
So now I want to talk a bit about the creatives. So the creatives are not really considered celebrities, you know, in the everyday entertainment sense of things, but these are extremely creative people who put pen to paper, the drawings, the energy that they put into this work. How do you think Comic-Con is celebrating them this year?
This is a very good question, because when I started Comic-Con 2012, one of my desires was, because back in the day, nobody was calling us for interviews. We are not on TV. Nobody was talking about us. Nobody cared if you're a comic artist or not. And I said, look, we needed a platform that we can celebrate ourselves. And now Lagos Comic-Con gives them that platform. They're on posters, they're on billboards. They feel like they are superstars. You don't have to be a musician or an actor or a TV presenter to be on TV. Now a comic artist is on TV, you know.
Yeah.
And that is one of the things that Lagos Comic Con stands for, celebrating this art form. This art form must not die. And one of the things that I am here to do, I'm a champion for that art form and saying, look, we need this art form because it's the foundation for animation, for film, for gaming. If comic book artists die, then the other industries may falter. So we need to keep it safe, and Lagos Comic Con is here to do that. And that's why we are celebrating them. They are celebrities in our eyes, you know, and we are giving them the 5-star treatment this year at Lagos Comic Con.
The Comic-Cons I know about all over the world have competitions. Any competitions this year?
Yeah, there are loads of competition. We have the cosplay competition.
Okay.
In fact, this year is going to be very interesting. We are giving out 100,000 for the first winner, 50,000 and 30,000 for the third place winner. Yeah. And we're having two categories because it's going to be a millennial versus Gen Z battle this year. Wow. Yes, there's going to be a category for the millennials and a category for the Gen Zs. And this cosplay competition is sponsored by Minimi. It's a very big one. And we are calling on millennials and Gen Zs to come in their cosplay and come and show their self.
So for those that don't understand what cosplay means, that is basically costuming
as your favorite character, hero. Yeah. And even though we have a lot of foreign characters, we would love people to also cosplay in the Nigerian characters, like Striker, like Jinx, like Guardian Prime and other Nigerian comic. Super Striker, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
That we have as well.
Fantastic. I was going to actually touch on this hero. I'm going to call it a mentality. The way heroes sort of shaped most of our childhoods. And these comic book heroes such as, the likes of Spider-Man and Superman and Batman came from comics and then evolved, of course, into cartoons and then, of course, major movies. Do you see any of our Nigerian comic book heroes ever taking flight like that?
Yes, they are taking flights. I do know that one of my comic books is being adapted to a TV series.
Okay.
And of course, we have a comic book from Comic Republic, which is another big studio in Nigeria. Yeah. They just signed a deal with Universal Studios to produce a movie for their comic book. So it's really taking flight. It's really taking flight. And more people are, like Iano I'm talking about was formerly a comic book as well. Okay. So even Kugali was a comic book company before this did, Iwaju. So you can see that the heroes are taking flight. But I also want to mention that I feel that with our current economic status in this country, I realize that a lot of people are being selfish and they don't want to be heroes. We need more heroes in Nigeria. And I think that's the importance of comic books. We need more people to be selfless, and to look beyond themselves and save someone else. Yeah. A lot is going on right now in the economy. We need to help ourselves. I need to be your hero. You need to be my hero. We need more heroes.
And I think you are a hero for keeping this going for 12 years now. And Godspeed on the next 12. Now, there's a lot of people who are probably wondering where they can get an actual comic book right here in Nigeria. I think you need to pop down for the Lagos Comic Con that's coming up very, very soon. Go check it out on.
It's coming up. It's coming up this Saturday, 14th of September at Landmark Event Center.
We have to wrap it up, guys, but I'll be seeing you at Comic Con. Let's take a quick break. There's still more on Wake Up Nigeria.